Please like and subscribe to the Couch and the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Tuesday show, presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. Obviously, they've got a sportsbook on the app, right? But they've also got all sorts of games. Like if you want to play blackjack, you want to play poker, whatever it might be, all sorts of table games. They're at your fingers on the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. Or you can head down to Firekeepers Casino, Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook. You got the restaurants, the casino floor. It's just a great place to enjoy the casino experience without leaving Michigan, right? Like if you've been to Vegas and you've been to Firekeepers, you know what I'm saying. You don't need to go there. You don't need to deal with the 110-degree heat and the jacked up prices. And the experience is here. The app is also here. Download the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app today. Jason, how you doing, brother?
People are nuts. I'm not nuts. They're nuts.
I do hear your voice in my head when I take a shit.
Let's go green. Go God.
What's up, buddy?
Been a
Good
minute.
to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
My God. You look good. You
Do
lost
I?
some weight?
I don't know. I think I've gained weight this last week, but I appreciate that.
How is that possible?
Well,
Traveling with an infant.
yeah.
It'd be hard to sit there and eat your feelings.
But
you hold your child all the time. though.
You also don't have time to do like things that you used to do that are active sometimes.
Oh, you mean all the fun stuff you used to do?
Well, it's fun. It's different kinds of fun. I took her on the beach every morning for a long walk. I took her a walk on the Presque Isle. People know the little peninsula there, and a couple times, and in a stroller, and
That's beautiful.
It was great. It was great.
Good for you, man.
She did not love the sun in her eyes on the beach. We had to shift to an umbrella situation walking down the beach. So
it was just you on the morning walks then. You gave
me.
Elizabeth a break.
I always do the early mornings. Yeah, I'm up. I handle 1 a.m. on. So
Nice.
that's what we do. Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I see another Lansing shirt. You're like, who has more Lansing shirts, you or Andy Shore? Like, that's impressive.
I'm sure he probably gets more given to him free, but more paid for Lansing shirts be me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, buddy. Is this like the end of the furlough, like the
This is
sabbaticals and all of the
I'm back.
things, right? Football's back.
I'm back till the end
Graham
of football
Couch is
season.
back.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Just want to make sure. Because people are probably sitting there like, oh, great. At the end of the show, they're going to say they're going to be gone until fucking.
Well, yeah, next week.
September.
Yeah, next week, actually. Now that you say it. No. We'll be on a semi-regular schedule here, as we like to say, especially as football gets going. I'm fired up for football season and our regular sort of routine and getting into a rhythm and
Absolutely.
it'll be
I'm looking
fun.
forward to it.
It'll be good.
3 shows a week,
This week we're just doing 2, but most weeks.
in the future.
In the future, right?
When football actually starts.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 days a week.
The challenge of this week is Michigan State hired a new athletic director.
But we knew about that. You guys had time to plan. Tim Stout told us, 3 weeks ago, Dan Bartholomae is going to be the new athletic director.
He said, "Keep an eye on Dan." But that's not. That's
keep an eye.
That's
I bring
not,
the tea leaves.
You can't break news. You can't.
But that's how the dean has done it for 55 years.
If you couch something to the point that you're not wrong if it doesn't happen, you don't get to be right.
That's
if it
a part
happens.
of Tim Stout's genius.
Okay.
You claim that you know something, but if something goes catastrophically bad, you don't. You have no. Like, my hands are clean of this. It's the Tim Stout way for 55 years. It's brilliant.
It's.
God damn.
I can't.
I mean, when the man nails one, you got to give it to him. I did my due diligence.
There's a guy who used to be on ESPN. I think he's on First Things First now, Chris Broussard.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I loathed the way he used to try and break LeBron James news in like 2010, going to Miami decision time. And all indications are like, and then, like all indications. And then he goes to Miami. He's like, well, I had it first. No, You were saying all indications, because if indications change, then you could change.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you either have it
you don't
or
want to be dead ass wrong.
Well, then don't.
Then you could be on freezing cold takes, whatever Twitter account. I mean, you don't want to be that guy.
That's fine, but just don't act like you broke it.
You fire all these hot takes all day.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's like with Hondo and Mel Tucker. Like I get that Hondo technically had it first.
We don't have enough time for all of that.
And he was dead on. But when you have the 33% rule, which people maybe don't know, we've talked about this on the show. The 33% rule with Hondo was 33% of his stuff was like insightful, and he actually had some sourcing. 33% was like just a little off, so you definitely needed to double check, and 33% was just made up entirely. And so when you have that, you can't, if you can't trust the breaking, like you can't retweet that, you don't, because it's Hondo. So does he really break it?
Just retweet it 33% of the time. Yeah. That's on you. You have to figure out when to retweet it.
Right.
And by the way, on the little 1 week break, I did go golfing with friends of the show, Steve Schultz and Sean. And Sean, on hole 3, he comes up to me and he goes, "What's up with this Hondo guy, man?" You got to tell me, because they both listen to the show. They love the show. Shout out to my guys. It was fun golfing with those guys. But yeah, I was like, I don't know how to tell you in between golf shots, dude. Maybe afterwards at lunch. But
I remember telling Brendan Quinn when he first started covering MSU for The Athletic, and part of the deal was, I'm sorry, my phone just went off. This stuff drives me nuts. Don't call me. Don't
Is that
call
the wife?
No.
Oh,
it's like a yeah.
I was about to say you're a little too snappy for that to be your wife.
My wife actually just put up a no solicitors thing on our door because it was just about time. It was like, okay,
it's better just to do the beware of the dog. People respect the beware of the dog. When you put up the no solicitation, they go F you, and still come to your door. Because Mia passed last year in July, and we still have the sign up that says beware of the dog.
I should do that. Beware of Spot, the cat. Vicious cat.
Yeah.
Or
the cat has rabies. You can put that sign up. We have a cat that has rabies.
Rabid raccoon in the chimney.
Watch out for this crazy stuff. Yeah.
But the thing with was I talking Hondo?
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I was going with
33% rule. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're playing the hits,
Yeah, no, it was the hits. Yeah. Oh man, see now I'm off. Now I'm really angry at these people who called me. Because if I had my computer down, I would not have been annoyed by it. And anyway,
you handled it well, though.
Did I?
Yeah.
Thanks. I usually do.
I mean, we didn't even hear a ring or anything.
And I just did.
It was just wild.
Yeah,
just you throwing punches in the air.
So angry.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Whoever got couch, shout out.
Yeah. So anyway. It was Brendan Quinn in the Hondo story. Yeah. So Brendan Quinn starts covering Michigan State. And at the time, The Athletic, trying to get a foothold in the market. And, and I told him, I said, look, you take 6 months off and do the deepest dive ever into the Hondo Carpenter story, you will break subscription records that you don't even know exist. You won't even, you wouldn't have to write anything. You won't even have to cover a single basketball game, and you will own the MSU market. Like, just
you have
do
to
that.
You have to go so deep, though.
Yeah. It's
like, where in the trenches do you want to go with that?
Right. Well,
so many angles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely a Matt Mancarini piece.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
he would be helpful as a
collab, though.
Yeah,
I mean, Mancarini would be good for the deep stuff that we always thought about, but yeah.
You got to interview so many people. Like Cody Tucker,
Yeah. Who sat down and broke bread with him.
Yeah. And a lot
was kind of mad at me because I told that story on the show, and I was like, oh. My bad. You're supposed to tell me not to say anything.
Yeah, well, if you don't, we'll say it.
He ordered a meal for himself and another meal for himself.
And then in the parking lot.
Split the tab.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's that. But
that was like, I didn't know how to break down the Hondo situation in like a golf swing, and then we get back in our carts. You know what I mean? He's like, what's up with that Hondo guy? And I'm like, oh, dude, we got to get down in business,
Well, and so the dean,
shout out Dean, breaking news.
He sort of broke this. Other people have sort of broken it.
Apparently, some Twitter account Final Four U did as well.
It's been a poorly kept secret. But there have been some people who've been all over it. So,
when did you find out?
I've heard
you knew, right?
Well, I certainly knew by now that it was happening.
Well, come on, I'm just saying.
When
Stout knew, Well, even though you're on, you had a baby holding a baby.
I didn't know when Stout when the first time you brought up the idea of Stout, I think on this show maybe said it, I don't know that I knew I knew within a day of that, but I was not paying a great deal of attention at that point in the summer. Just with the
paternity leave. I was going to give you an out.
Sorry, I didn't. No, but I knew he was a likely finalist because a year ago there was his name was sort of bantered about. So, but yeah, that's it's a momentous moment for the athletic department. And my favorite thing yesterday, and we're going to talk about. I do think this is a really good hire on the surface, and probably deeper than that. I think it makes all the sense. And everybody I've talked to, and I'm not just talking about people who have like worked with him or known him, like people are very enthusiastic.
I read your column. I know why. And his people skills include giving out quarterly culture awards during staff meetings, with the winners getting stickers with sayings from the show Ted Lasso.
Absolutely.
As soon as I saw that in your column, I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna love this guy. Absolutely.
And beyond, I mean, I've talked to people since I wrote the piece too, who are even more enthusiastic, who said it's just hard to put into words how much he elevated the way Western Michigan felt about itself, its expectations for itself, the things he did there in different sports, the way the student athletes felt about him, the way donors felt about him, and not just there's some big old money in Kalamazoo you have to be able to get along with, which is similar to a place like Michigan State. Less old money actually at Michigan State, but big donors you have to be able to get along with. But he got new donors at Western. So there's a lot of good things there.
And he doesn't look as smarmy.
He does not have
no offense to Jay Batt, but Jay Batt had that smarminess about him, that Southern guy thing. And I think you get that with Ball, but you get it doesn't look as creepy, I think, right? It doesn't look as kind of sketchy.
So what I think, and maybe you get the best of both worlds, and I'm not trying to defend Alan Haller to a T here and Jay Batt, but what I mean is sometimes you
well, they both know Jonathan Smith, so
you go all the way one way, or all the way the opposite way after you have one sort of AD. And sometimes what you really need is somebody with a lot of skills in the middle. And what I mean by that is Alan Haller had a real soft spot and cared for like every student athlete, non-rev level person, right?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, there are realities, and he understood the realities, but there are realities. Jay Batt was a little more blunt about those realities, where maybe he took a piece of your soul when you really realized your budget if you were a non-rev. And there's a way to discuss the realities but leave people walking away thinking this guy's in the fight with me. And I think that's a skill. And that's something I think Bartholomae has based on the people I've talked to. We'll see. We'll see what people think.
But the thing that I think
generally like him, though.
The thing that he has, Bartholomae, that is that he's a Michigan guy, but he's not. Like, he spent 15 years at Pitt, worked his way up from there, spent last 4 years at Western Michigan, kind of makes you a Michigan guy, so you get that vibe a little bit.
And he's done things at places where things aren't easy. So he was at Oregon State when they had their huge $161 million stadium renovation and had to raise a lot of money like during COVID. Not an easy time to do it. And was a big part of that, right? And so he's been in different places. Now, not everybody who comes to Michigan State has to go through Oregon State. That's not going to be some pipeline you have to do. But
shucks.
But he certainly is and obviously things have gone badly at Oregon State since then. The Pac-12 dissolved and all that stuff. But that's obviously not really on him. My favorite thing about this past 24 hours with the Dan Bartholomew news, though, is while I think based on all the evidence out there that this is a really smart hire and one that's worth the buyout of $5.1 million. I mean, obviously you got some back from the Jay Batt hire, although you had to pay Jay Batt originally. Anyway, overall,
let's break that down.
It's worth doing. It's worth getting your guy. This is not a place you go cheap when you think there's somebody at a real pivotal time who also has to have a lack of ego to the point that they're willing to come in, and while they're putting their own stamp on things and probably bringing some of their own people and setting their own tone and culture, you're overseeing Spartan Ventures, which is not your baby, right? So you've got to come in, and you can't. That's what's being done. Like, there's no going back on Spartan Ventures. It's already happening. It's critical to the future of Michigan State. I mean, lots of people who were previously employed by Michigan State University are now like employed by Spartan Ventures. Like, there's all sorts of this is being done. There's no going back. And I'm sure these discussions were had with Kevin Guskowitz, who sort of created this upheaval when he announced he was going to depart originally, and then decided to stay after
Cut that orange
left.
Tie off. Yep.
But my favorite thing about all this, though, was the number of people who thought this was a slam dunk hire who don't know. Like, I mean, they don't even know Dan Bartholomew. I mean, you might have heard. It's one of my favorite things about social media when it's a combination. You know, I mean, half these people would celebrate Daffy Duck being hired as AD. They just don't know. They want to look in the nail and they want to celebrate that it sounds great. There's just no idea. They have no idea. And some of these are like national folks who may have an idea or may also just want to make sure they're getting in with the new AD because these are sources. And some of these are more local fan media folks who are just like, yes, I celebrate whatever the school does. And so, but it's funny to watch because I'm like, how do you know? I mean, like, again, and maybe some of them do.
Maybe they crushed tape when he was at Western.
Okay, yeah.
Or they have AI where it can give you a synopsis in about 2 seconds and you get a whole brief overview.
What he did at Western was impressive. And there are some advantages at Western that you can tap into at that level. And that he had, I mean, I think coming out of COVID, there was a number of retirements. He was easier to reset the culture and change things. But he had, I mean, he brought in some younger people. He really elevated that place athletically in a lot of ways, and also was like that downtown arena project, the Kalamazoo Event Center, which is happening, which $551 million or whatever it is. Bill Johnston paying for and trying to state of the art. I mean, beyond anything in the Big Ten, and it'll for a while it'll be state of the art, and that was part of the idea that you can do this once. But that arena project at a much smaller price was being talked about like 20 years ago. I remember writing a column about it in 2008 when I was at the Kalamazoo Gazette.
Well, you got it kickstarted.
No, I mean, I had nothing to do with anything. But what I'm saying is,
you were at the forefront.
He was finally there when it happened, and it was part of making sure Western Michigan was committed to its part in that stadium, because they are the basketball teams and the hockey teams will be tenants there. And so, I mean, he's big in that. Obviously, I mentioned the Oregon State Capital Project. I think the ability the experience with that is important. And then,
well, see, now listen to you honk off now. If I'm listening to this, I'm going, damn, I guess this was a pretty good hire. You're ripping on these, like, yeah, I get it, these fanboy nerds. But, I mean, if you see, like, what are the cons of hiring a guy like Dan Bartholomae?
I'm just saying.
I mean, what are the cons? I was, everything, you know, the tape that I crushed about him, I was like, man, okay, that's pretty impressive to do that at Western Michigan. I think that's a pretty good hire. Now, thank God I didn't go on Twitter and say something like that, because Couch would have been.
I would have ripped you.
You would have been laughing at me.
No, I don't.
Jeez, Pete, you have an opinion around Couch.
I just think
people coming down on him.
I'm just saying some of it's very predictable. Like, it didn't matter who they were going to hire. It's like, yippee, you know. Sorry, I'm going to stop doing that stuff. I've done it the last show and this show, and
I'm down for it. Yeah. I give intern Nolan a little shit, and oh my God, he come at me. But
this happens to me every this time of year, every year, and I'll get over it quick. But it's just,
it won't. It's going to get worse as the older you get. Now you have a child. You're going to be really bitter in the coming years.
No, it's not a bitterness. It's just when football availability at Michigan State starts back up, and you're reminded, and basketball is so different, right? And you're just reminded of the sort of stenographer nature of everybody getting the same thing. You're all sitting around, you know, interviewing the same 3 players that came out, and I felt all of Fred Human, and everybody's got their YouTube camera, and it's just like everybody is celebrating. It's just like, oh my God, it takes me a minute to keep down my lunch. And then I'm good.
Bitter Couch is going to be so great.
Is it? Yeah. Sorry.
We got to keep doing this show for a couple more years so we can get the super bitter Couch.
I'm not going to get bitter. I like my job. I love my job.
I understand that, but it's not going to get better as we get older. It's not like these cameras are going to go away or these YouTube things. I mean, like, come on. It's going to be worse.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
What are the odds that I just lose it and go off the rails while they're filming one of these things at some point? And that
if God is real.
Yeah. Okay.
Chad Latz.
Let's go green, go God.
If he's real,
yeah,
we get that on tape. Couch just losing it one day.
So obviously Wednesday, Bartholome's intro presser will happen. I'll have another column after that, and got some additional insight that I've gotten.
How different is it going to be from Bat's like intro? I mean, it's kind of weird, like having these like.
Yeah, I mean,
is it going to be the same pomp and circumstance?
Well. Probably, and I think I think that's probably a little less. They do it at a different place. I think now they're doing it over at the football building, but yeah, when you get the marching band and cheerleaders in there, it is what it is. But you're right, as you get enough of these people who don't stay long enough, and how many people did you think were going to be potentially replacing Tom Izzo? Like, you sort of got to see somebody stick around and do it before you believe it at this point. And that's nothing against Dan Bartholomew, who looks like, when you look at Alan Haller and his skill set and what we learned about him and Jay Batt and his skill set and what we learned about him looks like from the outside and at its face like somebody who is probably the best overall version for a long-term AD at Michigan State. But you got to see it because there are a lot of challenges there. You just had a president who I don't think is going to leave anytime soon because he just almost left and stayed. But you had him out the door to Clemson and staying. You had it's an interesting time, and I think this is a really smart hire. But again, with anything right now, you got to see it, and you got to.
And Bartholomae has hired and fired a basketball coach in a short time at Western. Albeit
Dwayne
familiar
Stevens.
fit, yeah.
And Tom Izzo, though, this would not have happened without Tom Izzo's blessings. And Izzo, I talked to Izzo about Bartholomae back when Dwayne Stevens was hired at Western, and Izzo was very
He's a bull in a china closet.
Was very big into him. I tried to get Dwayne Stevens' opinion on him. Dwayne Stevens just said he was happy for him and his family.
Are you for real?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if he was just
fired
upset.
him,
but.
Oh yeah, I guess he's not bad.
But Lance Taylor, they won the MAC in football. He hired a good football coach there, and that was in his third year. Basketball at that level is harder to judge. Now, you give him credit. He fired the guy he hired. He didn't hang on to him for 2 extra years. He said, and it was a guy that was an Izzo disciple at a school you might wind up at, and he made that move because he thought he had to make the move. And Dwayne Stevens did have some bad luck there, but it didn't look like momentum was happening, and they're moving into a new arena, in a year, and like things –
But I like that, though. He can do the uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of have to do in that position.
I've had people tell me that he'll set expectations, the expectations for people, the idea that, it was interesting. Somebody described today that at Western, he changed the expectations. Like the expectations became championships. But it wasn't like championship or you're fired. So there's a delicate balance in that. It's not like, especially if you have unrealistic expectations relative to resources. It was more like we can win championships here. This has to be the expectation. This is the goal. And then you work to get to that goal. But it was, some of the, and everything they do. And look, to be fair to the previous athletic director, there were times at Western Michigan in the late 2010s, mid 2010s, where the finances were so bad that the expectations were much more realistic. It was just you couldn't win in certain sports, right? You just couldn't compete. And in basketball, I think it's going to be a really hard thing to judge at a lot of mid-major schools because you can't build anything year over year. It's just a really hard sport to do. But football's got some of those challenges too, to a degree at that, and they've done it well. So, good hire. From the the early returns, I would say this is an A hire. I'll be curious to see Dan Bartholomae talk on Wednesday and get a sense of him and meet him. I don't think I've ever met him. And people always think because I covered Western Michigan when I lived in Kalamazoo I was
meet everybody there.
I was gone before PJ Fleck even started. And PJ Fleck's been at Minnesota like 9 years, so like that gives you a sense of how long ago it was.
But we all thought that they just call you or something since you're the Western Michigan guy.
Give my opinion on things. So, what is your first take?
Well, I just kind of want to dovetail off the college football thing because during the week off break, golf has been consuming my brain for the past however many ever weeks, and I'm trying to get into college football. And I've had this take, although it was a couple weeks ago, about there's no juice in me for this college football season. So I'm asking my friends, I asked Michigan fan Jordan, I'm like, dude, what is going on? I don't have any, I tried even crushing a little bit of tape, finding out the big, the conferences, see what betting angles, and I just couldn't get into it. And I'm just concerned, Graham. And now golf, the BMW championship is this week. They're down to 50 guys. FedEx playoffs are kind of boring, kind of ass. So that's the time when you start to dive into college football. Obviously, the NFL is going to be there for me no matter what. But college football, man, I can't get anything going right now. And I don't know if I'm the only one that way.
You're not. Based on a few of our listener takes, we're going to get into
Michigan State aside, though. Michigan State football aside, because I understand rebuild kind of year with Fitzgerald. We're not expecting much. I'm talking about the landscape of college football. And what Michigan fan Jordan and what he mentioned to me is that it's just it doesn't matter. The regular season doesn't really matter anymore when you can lose 3 games and still get into this college playoff. When we were younger, in our 20s or something like that, week 1, week 2 matchups meant everything because you could not lose that early game to like an unranked opponent or something like that.
I think it still matters at 12. I think when it goes to 24, you've got a real problem. And I think they should not let these happen. Like fans, commissioners, or not commissioners, because commissioners are helping drive this, but anybody with any sort of power and any sort of situation should speak up and, stop these commissioners from doing it because they're going to ruin the sport. They really are. 12, I don't mind because you remember at 4, it wasn't just that 4 stunk for certain reasons because it was too punitive early on. It was that the discourse around it from the ESPNs of the world, like the first week was, who's out of the playoff already? It's week 1. Like it really, the playoff at 4 was too, you remember back then you had 5 power conferences, 4 spots.
I know, but the games meant everything.
They still mean a ton at 12. I'd still mean a ton at 12. I'm not saying people.
A ton. Though.
I think the
you can still lose early.
Juice is missing from the college football season because the sport has changed to a degree that I think people are really starting to realize just how different it is. It's not that people are excited that Indiana gets to become a power. People don't mind that, but certain places they do. And I think that places where you used to be able to build great depth and be a force and the fun of that's gone. I think the lack of getting to know players, the lack of the way it used to be, the things we all fell in love with, I think that stuff matters. And then when you don't have a team that people are necessarily excited about, like the Michigan State situation. Some people are excited. Some may be excited about the Fitzgerald era. You may be curious about the team, but I think it's difficult. And Michigan State's at a point now for a lot of people where I think they're going to need to do it on the field to create juice. Like you remember Mel Tucker's second year. It's that run, that opening run.
We do have time for all of that. I would like to do that again.
It's the Kenneth Walker run against Northwestern. All of a sudden, the season had juice, right? Until that moment,
God, so much juice.
Until there wasn't. Michigan State needs that sort of deal. But for now, what I would recommend to anybody, if it doesn't feel like fall, get up a little earlier when it's still crisp. Get yourself a muskox flannel. It'll feel like fall. Go to gomuskox.com. Some of the fall flannel offerings are out. The grand flannels, I'm telling you, they're all there. Gomuskox.com, and you can feel like fall. Get yourself ready. Start preparing for college football season, and it's soon enough. You will need a flannel, and it'll feel like it. But I'm with you. There's a lot of people who feel the same way. All right, next one from me. Premier League starts this week. Before you snooze off.
Boring.
That's right, Cora.
There are some bets on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app that are worth looking at. All right, so. And as I formulate everything I'm going to do for this Premier League season and the European slate, I will send a tweet, maybe a Norm-style sponsored tweet by Spot, or somebody will do it. Cora's picks. No, I can't do that. I can't affiliate her with gambling. That's
Please do.
No, I can't. Elizabeth, end this show so quick. It'll be the end of it.
That'd be the best.
But there are some things early on I do like. And while Arsenal is like plus 125 to win the Premier League, and I don't think that's it's not great, not great juice. You can parlay them, however, with Hull City to finish at the bottom, which is about plus 120, or even money, and that's a nice bet. But if you like Arsenal, maybe the better, even safer play at minus 125, over 77.5 points. In general, I think you want to be with Arsenal this year. I think they're the strongest play. I think you can get some Chelsea over Man City money that's decent. Teams to fade that I think are going to take a step down. As much as I love Crystal Palace, I think it's going to be, the unders on Crystal Palace, the unders on Fulham. These are teams that could wind up in the relegation era. But if you do the bottom Hull City and the top Arsenal and parlay them together, that's not a bad play at all. I think Tottenham is actually going to be better than people think, and I hate that. I won't take it, but I wouldn't put anybody off like a top 6 for Tottenham or something along those lines. So those are just some of my early thoughts. Premier League gets underway. My Coventry City team, that's who I'm adopting. And again, this is a huge year for all American sports fans. God, this sounds so lack of humble. All American Premier League penis teams. So I am adopting Coventry City, and I'm choosing to become a fan of Coventry City. And if it doesn't stick, then all of the Americans who pretend to be fans, it's all bullshit. So it's got to stick. Big year for everybody. You got another one?
I do. I'm just waiting for people to get done fast forwarding.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Right.
Buenos tardes. It is time for the Detroit Tigers gambling update with Gramanito Couch and Jason Nick.
Oh my God, this team, Graham. I mean, thankfully the division hopes are over.
Yeah.
Now, right? But this wild card thing is still in play, and this is the reason why I just despise this team. Because right when you want to just be done with them, then you wake up and you see that they have a plus 86 run differential. And the teams that they're tied with in the wild card spot, Baltimore is minus 27 in run differential, Texas minus 47, Minnesota minus 46, and Toronto minus 57 in run differential.
Incredible.
So that gives us some hope here. And it just annoys me to no end to watch this baseball team. I don't know. I just can't bet on it anymore. I still tune in.
You know what's
still trying to, Jake Rogers comes back and we give him a standing ovation. It's like, what for what?
You know what's insane? And look, right now the Tigers are tied for the wild card spot. It's amazing. When you watch that White Sox team over the weekend, like their bullpen is pretty dang good, and they've got a pesky lineup. And you go, how are they not even better than this? Like they look like, and I know
pitching staff's not bad either.
I know the Tigers swept them at one point, but how did that happen? So it's not just the Tigers are 4.5 back. I mean, we've seen the Tigers blow massive leads. Teams can at this point still fade, and you could catch them 4.5 on its own. It's that the White Sox just look better than the Tigers. Like they just look like they have more stuff that matters, and the bullpen being the key, and the lineup being a little more pesky. Maybe the Tigers get in, and look, I'm hoping they get in. It'd be fun if they get in. They're not winning that division though. There's no way they're winning that.
Will
division.
it be fun?
Well, it's a distraction. It's something to do when the football's not.
But do you have hope? But fun is when you have a chance to get to a World Series.
Right.
I don't see that.
I want them to make it, but be below 500, and I'll tell you why. I feel like if they're below 500, Scott Harris cannot come out and say, well, we're in the playoffs 3 straight years, so we're really there. We just need to, when you're under 500, you got in based on the teams around you and just sort of an anomaly of the season and a lot of bad teams and whatever. You're not good.
Yeah, but he'll put it on something.
You can't. If you're under 500, nobody buys it. Nobody wants to hear it. Even he would have trouble. You get yourself, like if they finish like 85 and whatever, they're not going to do that. But if they get to 84, 85 wins, the stuff he's going to sell is just going to be tough. It's going to be tough to stomach. It's you don't want that.
The name on the jersey is going to be the same, but they're going to be different players. Am I right? That's the shit he got away with.
It's not great.
I have one more thing, and this came across the news wire as we were setting up for the podcast here. But I need someone to start a revolt against some of these streaming apps. Because word just came out today that our favorite app, and Tony Dombrowski's favorite app,
Peacock,
is raising their prices. And what annoys me the most is when you pay for a subscription service and the ads that pop up after you're paying. And now here's what they're doing. They're going to raise the Peacock Premium, which is with ads. It's Peacock Premium. So they're saying it's premium, but you still have to sit through ads. That's priced at $12.99 a month. That's going to be up $2 from the previous monthly price. Peacock Premium Plus, without ads whatsoever, will now be $19.99 a month. $20 a month for effing Peacock. I'm serious. I'm willing to jump on the revolt. I can't start something like that because I do have to watch some of these channels because I do watch some stuff on there. But I'm willing, if we're going to start a whole thing, I'll jump in and cancel. But here's the one that really kind of irks me, and it's called Peacock Select, and that's a limited offering that does not include movies, live sports, or Peacock originals, and that will cost $8.99 a month. You don't get live sports, movies, or Peacock originals. I don't know what else is there.
Well, there's the reruns of other things. There's the
for
shows
$8.90.
they own. Yeah.
I'll watch Tubi first or something. I don't. I watch old porn videos or something. I don't, before I pay $8.99 a month for that horse shit, but it just bothers me. And Peacock's not the only one doing this, but they're just going to keep raising this stuff and raising this stuff. Like HBO Max, there was a show I was watching on there, and all of a sudden, like, these ads pop up 3 times for a half-hour program. It's like, how they're just spitting in our faces because they know that they have us until we sit there and do something about it and have some sort of revolt.
Well, yeah, the challenge is, and we screwed this up a long time ago because we let the generation just under us, and even our own selves, right about our age and under.
I can't blame them for that. We're a part of it.
We cord cut, though. People cord cut, and they thought cable's the way, okay? And I'm not saying it's the way now, because now I have cable and I have all these, and it's really expensive. What I'm saying
is, you and I tried the cord cutting thing, and I ended up, we did it, and then it ended up costing more money.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for us to do it. So.
Xfinity's still the best deal we can come up with. I mean, it's still the best deal for us. And yeah, cord cutting was a mistake. It worked for a while because when all this stuff was new, a lot of these places allowed you to use your parents', and people weren't actually paying for any of this stuff. It was like they were logging on the one Netflix account that their parents owned or whatever.
Good. Why not?
But I'm just saying, people hadn't caught on yet. The system wasn't actually, nobody was doing the pricing based on the idea that you were paying for this. It was doing the pricing based on the fact that your parents were paying for this.
I think it all started with Big Ten Network Plus and them trying to get $11.99 out of
ridiculous.
People. You know?
Big Ten Plus is ass.
Right? So, like, they started it, and everybody else is going, well, God, if Big Ten Plus is, my God, we better charge $19.99 and ads. It's just, that's the part that chaps my ass, because they were getting us, and it was $6.99, $7.99. And we're like, oh, okay. Oh, no, that's not too bad. You kind of miss that kind of charge every month. Like, by the way, then come on, that's the 4th time in 4 years that Peacock has raised the rates. Like, enough of you assholes.
All right, I'm going to put it out there for you. If you need to pay for Peacock Premium or Peacock whatever it is now, Peacock Premium, and it's going to cost an extra, $5 a month now? More than that?
Yeah.
So $5 a month, that's, $60 a year? You go ahead, you put $60 on Arsenal to win the Premier League. You collect at the end of the year, you pay for Premier League Plus. You can go on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app, pay for your streaming apps at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino Sportsbook app. It's the way to go. Just safe, small bets. You're thinking about your cable bill, right? Nothing huge.
Or you hit that bet, then you go to the casino, you roll that up.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you're paying for everything.
There you go.
Paying for rent. You're paying for everything.
But bet responsibly.
Yeah.
Like I said,
paying for your car payment. Like all of a sudden, you're a professional bettor.
Be a little careful.
It's insane.
It never works quite like that. Jason is somebody.
My daydreams.
Yeah, somebody who's bet the $100 they don't have. Jason, I would say you know that.
Exhilarating though.
It's
I swear though.
That's one word for it.
Oh man.
All right.
Those days.
We will take a really quick break. When we come back, we will dig into your takes. Some good stuff on MSU football, the AD situation, the Tigers, Lions, pet peeves in life, all that good stuff. Couch in the Rube, our Tuesday show, presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app.
Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. Firekeepers Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Please like and subscribe to the Couch in the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
Couch in the Rube, our Tuesday show, presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. You can download the app, have the casino and the sportsbook right at your fingertips. Bet responsibly. Of course, Premier League starts this weekend. College and pro football right around the corner. No better time to download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. It is time now for our listener takes. Jason, you ready?
Yeah, man. Eric Schultz first. This is the most meh I've ever been about the start of an MSU football season. I can name like 6 players. They're not going to be good. We don't even know if they've got the resources to get good. And most of all, the sport just kind of sucks now. Not long ago, I was an unlosable fan. Now they almost lost me.
Yeah, so Eric's one of these people I sort of monitor because, he's a guy with a busy life, young family, dialed in. But you can't lose a generation of people because I don't know if they come back, and it's I think it's the bigger concern is the people who are in school now who are coming up if they never feel the way Eric once did, the way people who go through a university and become students in the student section and all that and feel this kinship with it, or even those who are, like if you start to lose interest a little, like it doesn't become something that occupies your mind as much. That's a problem. I think there are major issues here. I think the national media struggles with it. But I am curious. This is, I think with Eric, a lot of it's MSU football related.
Yeah.
And I think they just need a moment. And we talked about the Kenneth Walker run. MSU football, more than anything, needs a reason to believe in the program long term and something to enjoy in the season. And I don't, maybe they can deliver both during this year.
And sometimes you need Michigan, if you're a Michigan State fan or you're a fan of whatever school, you need them to be good to get into college football. Because if they are bad, some people just lose complete interest, and I totally get that too. Dominic next. Number 1, hey, Couch, heard you tell Jason last show that he owed you a Front 43 meal, then quickly pivoted to replacing it with Groovy Donuts. Can you think of anyone else who's owed a Front 43 meal?
You and me, Dominic, Front 43. We're going together.
2. Hey, Kim Jong Couch, I think it's cool you're getting Vatican as the next sponsor. Don't think I didn't pick up on your sinister laugh when you mentioned sanctioning me with the W word last week. That's fair. You do know that you allow things way filthier than that, right? Be better. And 3, hey, Yancey Thigpen Couch, just a heads up. You will not be doing Indiana Bears jokes if they move. Jason, as an actual Lions fan and elite Bears hater, you can. You, sir, a Denver Bronco and fake Lion supporter, can touch grass. Go make another Elizabeth Taylor reference and bite me, bro. And bonus. Hi, Jason. We missed you. Missed you too, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't owe you a Front 43 meal yet. We have 2 bets that are going.
Right, and I don't even remember them. So
one is the Terry and Arnold.
Oh, yeah. That's right. His prison sentence, right?
And the other one was, I forget. Someone will have to let us know.
If anybody remembers, please let us know.
I know the one is Terry and Arnold.
Yeah,
but we did one before. We've taken 3 weeks off here the past month and a half.
Yeah.
Chris, next. I was a Haller defender who was optimistic about Bat before quickly souring on him after the Smith firing and for Spartan Stadium District shenanigans. So take this with a pound of salt. I'm ecstatic about getting Bartholomae. He seems like a guy who gets what MSU is about in a way Bat could never.
I do think there are some advantages in coming from a mid-major as an AD. Now, there are other, John Palumbo had been an AD at a smaller place. But you really do, you learn to live with some severe limitations in budget. So, like, he's not going to look at Michigan State's budget constraints, and there are some, and there's some debt, and there's some challenges, and go, man, that sucks. How do you get out of this? When you've just been at Western Michigan where you lose money every year on everything, and you're trying to, counter that as best you can, but the school is certainly helping pay, subsidizing the athletic department, and the challenges are way, way, way different, and you're losing players, and NIL's harder to do, and all that stuff. Like, you have to be creative, and to get people fired up at the mid-major level in this era, I think is a talent. And he's been at Pitt, and he's been at Oregon State when they were in the Pac-12. I think there are some. I think there's a lot of things to like initially.
Moneybag next. The narrative pushing around new coaching staffs is ridiculous. MSU players didn't know how to throw trash away until Fitz. Michigan players didn't lift weights until Whittingham. Utah didn't have intense practices until now. No other sport does this. And from Lions Reply Guy, all the hype around Fitz after hearing the exact same thing about Tucker and Smith is like being Matthew McConaughey's character in Interstellar. Reminds me of watching myself as a Lions fan growing up and always having hope and never realizing how truly far away they were from being legit.
I'm glad I didn't know as a kid. It would have been annoying. Like I thought,
as a kid,
yeah.
I like not knowing. Period. As an adult, as a kid, all that shit.
I'm just saying, as a kid, we definitely didn't know. Like
no,
I didn't have
as an adult. What are you talking about? I still don't know.
Well, when they were 0-16 in 2008, you didn't know?
Yeah, I thought this is our year. Number 1 pick.
Matthew Stafford,
here to come right in. Yeah.
Yeah. The Moneybag, you're right on. I mean, this is one of the things that is harder and harder for me to it is what it is. And people want to be excited about what they have, and coaches always sell what they're doing, and people buy into it, and young people in particular. And I've been guilty as this. Like when I started in Kalamazoo, it was the first year of a new coach. I was 25 years old, my first Division I program. Man, and I bought what was being sold, hook, line, and sinker. You know what I mean? Like it was like, this is the new way. The previous coach sucked. The previous coach was Gary Darnell. He'd had great runs. He'd been a great coordinator of the place. Now he lost steam and they lost discipline of the program. They went 1-10. I'm not saying that things were good, but I'm just saying and I'm not saying things weren't done well early on. There was a quick turnaround for a minute at Western, but so much of this, especially when you're like a young fan or a young reporter, you just buy it, and you buy it as like, this is the way, and the previous group sucked, and that's almost never the case. The previous coach almost never sucked. And, Mel Tucker talked about it with his strength and conditioning people. Well, Ken Manny was pretty damn good for a lot of years under Nick Saban and Mark D'Antonio and a number of coaches at Michigan State, right? It is what it is. It's annoying, and it's never going to change, though, because you only know what you when you're 25 years old, when you're 20 years old, it goes back so far. You just don't know things before you existed or before you were aware they existed. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way life is. But it just, as you get older, you do start to realize just how much of this is actual BS.
Mojo Jojo next. Graham, I need you to tell me how to feel about the new AD. And Jason, I need you to take Graham to the woodshed over said suggested feelings, as he doesn't get it from the soul of a true fan. And soccer's back take. Already enjoying this coming European soccer season more than any college football season in the last 3 years. It's like if you combine the best aspects of college football and the World Cup. Oli, jit, come on, BVB, is that a
yeah?
Let's get lads hooked on soccer.
That's
go out there, play hard, stick your cleats so far up their asses that they've got to use the cleats to brush their teeth with.
BVB is Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. Anyway, Germany.
Is it?
It's Germany. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm fired up too. I'm telling you right now that if soccer had been available, and we just shit on all the streaming services, and because of the streaming services, a lot of the stuff's available. Like I can see some Torquay United games in the 6th division. I can see all of them if they get their asses up to the 5th division. But because of streaming services. Now, it's ridiculously pricey for me to do that. But if all this was accessible to us in the 1980s, when, you had Bo Schembechler running the Veer, man,
Perlis.
Kids like shiny objects. I'm telling you right now, if good soccer would have football would be in a different place if soccer had been available the way it is now in the 1980s. It would be in a different place.
Why wasn't that your third take?
It should be. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so hot.
Well, because football sucked as a sport until
soccer would be way bigger if there were apps in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it was like
that overcharged you and raised the rates every. It's not that I'm not shitty. I appreciate the apps and what they do and bring me the sporting events. I'm just annoyed by the fact that they raise their rates every 6 months and they just shit on you and then they throw ads in and it's like Red Zone and they're like, well, there's only 3 minutes of ads and then this year there's going to be 6 minutes of ads. Like, okay, you're treating us like assholes. F you then.
And they hook you enough on different ones that you got to do it. You're like, oh, I need to cut some of these out of my life. But which ones? Okay, do I really want to give? And then look, I am taking a deep look at different things I can cut because
because you have a child now.
Yeah, it gets a little pricey, and
kids are so great that you got to cut out things that you enjoy.
But I'm just going to buy a few fewer Lansing and Frandor shirts, and that's where I make my cuts. It doesn't really matter.
I'm paying $14.99 for the LSJ. It just never ends. Here's my paycheck. I don't know. You guys divvy it up.
It doesn't matter anymore. This is my third shirt today. because Cora, like when I have her up on my shoulder, she like either spits up a little bit or just chews on my shoulder, and it's just slobber up here.
Man, dude, feed this kid.
We do.
Probably hungry.
I do. No, she's not hungry. I'm just saying. So like, it doesn't matter anyway what I'm wearing. Anyway, people don't want to hear this stuff. I apologize.
We're so deep in it, we might as well keep going. Ben Bartholomae gets a hearty applause, more than Haller's golf clap, but not a standing ovation. I like that his hockey team won a natty. He oversaw a major facilities project, and he has in-state ties. And bonus, I bet the highlight of your trip to Marquette was Cora's first visit to the Claire rest stop.
We skipped it. We do the Shepherd McDonald's as our first stop usually. That's kind of our stop on the way up.
So you can get what? You can get a little snack too?
Just a little something, yeah.
We have to. That smell. You can't. That Mickey D smell. I mean, who can fight that off?
It's like it's noon by the time we get there. Just need a cheeseburger, just a coffee.
Number 9 meal, medium size with a diet. I mean, that thing hits every time.
We really ought to get McDonald's a sponsor. Dude, we're pretty good at selling it.
I only get the number 9 from there. It's just like my favorite thing ever. If I'm in a pinch, if I'm hungry, blood sugar's a little low, boom, number 9 diet. Thank you.
Highlight was like Cora's favorite thing is trees, and we're walking Presque Isle, and there's just tons of tree cover right around this little. Anyway,
now how do you know that that's her favorite thing? She can't talk to you. She's only been around
because she's just
wowed.
Like, she's like mind blown to the point that she fell asleep at the very end because she was just like, I can't even take this anymore. It's like 2.2 mile loop. Yeah, too many trees. I loved it. And again, I could keep the stroller the top down the whole time because the sun was early enough in the morning. The sun wasn't up. That was watching her face that whole time was amazing. To the first part with Bartholomae, and one thing to remember is like, and this is any athletic director situation. Like, yeah, Western Michigan won a national championship in hockey, but that's changed there. Really started 15 years ago with, when they went to what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Former Red Wings coach Jeff
Cockburn.
Thank you, Blashill, Jeff Blashill, and then Andy Murray and so forth, and
Murray.
So yeah, they had not the tennis player. But yeah, I mean. That's the only sport you can really win one there, and they won it. And they're winning in football right now. So, yeah, no, I think it's a good hire. I've said that twice now, 6 times.
Matty B next. The first question to Dan Bartholomae needs to be what he plans to do to fix football NIL. Any other question is a failure.
Thank you, Matty B.
This athletic department has repeatedly failed to gain momentum there, including Sexton's Finest thinking we could pay in Trident layers. And bonus, between the Pistons superfan, the Tigers British grifter, and these Josh and Jace characters, who is consuming this content? All seem like nice people, but who is this content for?
I think there are some young Gen Zers who are just hooked on crummy stuff on YouTube. No offense to YouTube. We appreciate our YouTube audience, but...
yeah, but it's crummy what we put out there, too, I mean, it's
our
good. It's
good.
quality stuff, but I'm saying, if we're going to jump into the crummy thing,
But yeah, I don't. It's a good question. I remember when we were going up to Marquette, Josh and Jace had just been there. Like, they better not still be there. Get out of our city.
It's unbelievable. I just like it's honestly, it's more of just like their energy. It's like that. Fake,
they're sponsored by Meyer.
I just know. Bravo to them, man.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you have to still act that way.
Right.
That's wild.
We would get caught off camera being like, this place sucks.
I could not fake that enthusiasm for it. Would have to be like in 12-second clips.
Well, yeah, it's.
I mean, I could not like, oh my God, did you see the Michigan State football game yesterday? Oh no. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's like when
I can't believe Toledo scored again.
It's like when Abdul Al-Saeed got caught saying he didn't like Mackinac. And I think he was talking about the policy conference, which I don't like either. But
I hate those gotcha moments.
But also,
what if he said
who likes Mackinac? It's like the worst part of Michigan. Like, you go up there, you do. I'm not saying it's the worst, but it's an overpriced main hotel. The place smells like horse shit. You're just. I mean, there's so many great places in Michigan.
Mackinac, yeah,
Mackinac
dude. So
what? Not one of them.
Shows he's a real person.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Right. What are we doing here? Come on.
Was he going to bitch about construction next? Oh, he hates construction in Michigan. Good. I appreciate that.
All right.
Someone in our corner here. Fix the damn roads, huh? Am I right? Ryan Schultz next. This is the least excited I have ever felt for a college football season in general. The way the sport is being run makes no sense whatsoever, and not sure I would pay attention at all if it wasn't for this show.
Ryan, we appreciate you. We're glad this show can.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We are saving college football, I guess.
We are.
we talked about this with.
I mean, there's always
Eric's
gambling.
take.
Let's just say you can save college football with gambling a little bit.
Yeah, but not everybody's
responsibly.
Into that. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's not as fun as it used to be. It's still fun when it gets here. The off season isn't as fun. The build up's not as fun. And I try to be aware that I think that changes for everybody as you go through different stages in life. But I don't know that it would be as fun for me back when when I was in my mid-20s or in my teens anymore. Like it doesn't appeal to me in the same way, and I don't know all the reasons for it, but I know a lot of the things happening in college football are lending themselves.
Well, you had to sign an
different.
oath as a sports journalist that you can't be a fan.
So we can't enjoy.
You guys
anything,
did like a
right?
blood oath circle thing.
Yeah. Solari brings a knife.
Tim Rhodes next. My hot take: 7 wins should be the minimum standard for MSU football this year. 6 wins and a bowl? That's not a turnaround. Beat Michigan, compete in the Big Ten, make people believe again. Otherwise, we're just starting another rebuild.
Well, yeah.
I mean, all is true.
Yeah, but there's another. Can you? Yeah. I mean, I think that's a rebuild anyway. But they need a moment, right? And they need belief, and they need people to have fun again there. And for that, maybe there's some juice at running back. It sounds like maybe your quarterback turns out to be more seasoned and better than Look, I think he was solid as a redshirt freshman, but what's his ceiling? I don't know. Maybe the defense winds up having some stuff to it. Like
I think the worst part is you trying to get us pumped up for it.
I'm not.
This is not like,
and
they got a quarterback.
I've seen
might do some things.
I'm not putting it down either. I think there are a lot of decent, interesting players there. And one of the things that's different now, and I don't know if it's a good way, but one of the things that's at least appealing when you have a team that you don't know if they're going to be any good is there are a lot of new pieces, a lot of new players, a lot of players you have no idea how good they are. And so that at least creates a curiosity at the beginning at least.
Ralph E. next. Number 1, welcome back, guys. You were missed, I think. 2, MSU is the athletic director buyout king. $5 million for Bartholomae, $2.5 million for Bat, $1 million for Haller, less than 3.9 from Kentucky. That's a net of $4.6 million. I hope that doesn't reduce NIL funds. 3, Mad Dog had Denny McClain on last week, and no, I didn't watch. Well, come on, Ralph. I need the recaps from you. Bonus, I saw Denny McClain pitch versus the Senators the week before I was shipped to boot camp the year after his 30-plus win season. 6'7" Frank Howard hit a home run out of the park over our heads in the right field boxes.
How's that possible, Ralph? I thought you were like 14 years old. This is amazing. No, that's a cool memory. Shipped to boot camp. And what year? So that would have been.
Sorry. A little late on that 14-year-old joke.
Yeah, it's not. I should have used a different year.
It was really bad.
It was not good.
14's not a good number for you. It's when you met your wife.
No, it's not.
That's 14.
No.
No?
She was 25. Let's make that real clear.
You're so old for your age.
Mad Dog, by the way, I'm
not doing it.
I'm writing a little piece on him this week on his return.
Oh my God, you
tiny
are?
blurb. Well, we wrote a big piece.
You
when he
lose
was
a
leaving.
bet?
No, he just keeps calling, and so I'm gonna.
Oh my God, he's relentless.
And look, he's worth. I mean, Mad Dog is an institution here, and we're the Lansing State Journal.
Fucking Tim Stout's an institution.
That's
here.
true. He does want us to come on together, though.
I'm not. Yeah, all right.
You want you and I?
I'm good.
Let's do it.
Respectfully decline. I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
We'll see if we can pull it off.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, he's got my number, and he
That's what I told
DMs
him.
me on my Instagram all the time. Like, I get it. Like, I don't know why I have to get it invited through you if we must talk about this.
That's what I said to him. I said,
so it annoys me, and therefore I don't owe him shit.
I said you should talk to Jason.
He would be lucky enough if we would come on his podcast, whatever the fuck it is. I'm good. Thank you.
My favorite part is, though, he's like, we'd promote the heck out of your show. Like
thank God. This guy. See what I mean? It's like it never ends.
It's like local radio here, though. It's like when the local radio station wanted us to bring the show over there. Like they were doing us a favor.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
So a smaller audience and
make you guys
show,
bigger stars. Yeah,
let's do that.
Although Couch would love, the FCC having his back, so then he could just get rid of every swear word whatsoever. I'm sorry, guys, it's not me. It's the FCC. I would let us say it if we were doing an original podcast.
And let's go back to another commercial every 5 minutes. Here we go. Another 6 minutes of commercial.
Oh, God. Munfield Keg next. This late Labor Day is throwing everything off. I feel like we should be playing football a week from Friday, and now it's 2 weeks. Then after Labor Day, we are already at September 8th. What a bum-ass year. It's It's already starting to get dark earlier.
Yeah, I noticed it's dark later
now.
in the morning too. It's
all ass.
Yeah, no, it is weird this year though. It does. I had trying to figure out like, wait a second, when's football practice start? They don't play till then. It does feel it's just a little out of whack. And next year I think it goes all the way. I'm not sure if next year goes all the way the other way, but it's as late as it can possibly be Labor Day this year and MSU football starting.
Izzo for Prez next. Which hire was the biggest hype and then the biggest disappointment? Midnight Mel, Loaf of Bread Smith, or Bat the Rat?
Of those three,
I mean, Loaf of Bread Smith, dude.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what
by far?
What was good about the Jonathan Smith era here?
Well, the other thing is just there wasn't a lot of hype for Mel Tucker because he wasn't expected to be the guy, and then he was, and there wasn't a lot of hype coming in. I know there wasn't. I wrote a story. First of all, it was COVID, right? Shortly after he started, and I remember doing a one-on-one with him and writing a feature that I don't know ran in spring of that year.
There was no hype though. They were looking at his shoes, like what person's shoes were getting off a plane.
But at that point there were. But eventually he was not. I don't know. Maybe COVID killed it. But there was not a lot of juice for Mel Tucker by that spring. It was not that exciting. Jay Batts and AD. There's only so much you can. I mean, I think people thought he was a good solution to the what was missing maybe at Michigan State. But Jonathan Smith was. I mean, while some people were not enthused by the hire, he was a proven coach who I thought was going to be really good, and it wound up being just a fit that did not work. And he was unable. He's a coach where if you are winning at the level you're supposed to be winning in the Bill, doesn't mean you're like dominating right out of it. But if things are on pace, he's okay. When they aren't, his inability to sell what's happening and why things are a struggle and what I think a lot of people, just communication skills wise, if he just had that, he'd still be the coach. If he had my communication skills, and I suck at telling stories, if he had your communication skills, he would still be the coach. His ability to explain why things were happening, this is expected, we're fine, this isn't great, we didn't want this, but let me tell you, this is going to be a challenge, and this is how we're going to do it. If he had just been able to say that and say it calmly and speak to people, meet them where they were, He'd definitely gotten another year.
Do you think there'll be any questions to Bartholomae about Jonathan Smith since they crossed paths at Oregon State?
That's a good question. Certainly not in the
Can
initial.
Can we tell Connor you're good to ask a question?
Not in the initial thing. Well, here's the other thing. And going back to the point made by our always positive friend, Matty B, about if the first question isn't like how you're going to fix money in football, it's a failure.
Be number one.
Anything you see in that situation, like so tomorrow it's going to be at the Tom Izzo Hall of History at Breslin, right? And it's going to be a half press conference, half introduction. It's not really like that's not where you ask questions unless you just want to hear your own voice. And I'm not saying people shouldn't and won't, but like the stuff you really want to know, it doesn't lend itself to I guess it depends on the person, and maybe he's really good in a press conference setting, and maybe you would get a great answer there. But you usually get better answers. They'll bring him off to the side, and you'll be around him, and he'll have a conversation, and that's generally when you get better stuff and need to ask that, or sitting down with him later on, or So I don't if it's not an ultimate failure in journalism if that's not your first question, and just understand the first question is going to be like from Fred Heumann, or I felt all of Fred Heumann, Lindsey Huddleston, or somebody that isn't thinking like let's ask the great question right here. It's going to be anyway.
No offense, Lindsay.
And Fred asks good questions for TV. It's just a different medium, right? It's sorry.
Kurt Wisniewski.
We should fix some of this show.
No, I thought it was a perfect answer. I think you nailed it.
I just feel like I'm being a bit of a jerk today, and I don't mean to be. I really don't.
I like it. Kurt Wisniewski, number one, the Tigers are fun to watch now and will not be making the playoffs. 2, what Dan Bartholomae did diversifying the donor base at Western is exactly what we need. And 3, I'm all in for MSU football and prepared to be hurt again.
The opposite of the Schultzes.
But all in, like, what do you mean?
Well, he's just excited for the season and ready. And
But is it Tony Dombrowski? Like, are you like, are you thinking that there's going to be like they're going to make the playoff or something crazy like that, or you're all in meaning you're ready to support? You're here for a new regime. Okay.
Yeah, it should be more long term. Like this is the one. This is the time because And what number 2 here is important though, and you're not the only person who's talked to me about this. Is there are a lot of people who are brought into the tent at Western who hadn't previously been in terms of donors. And I think that's something Michigan State needs to continue to work on. I'm not saying J-Bat wouldn't have. J-Bat just didn't stay long enough to really understand what had been done and what hadn't. But that's something that Michigan State needs to do.
Professor next. I came away being more impressed with the White Sox than I did thinking differently about the Tigers. And bonus, my neighbor went out of town for a week and asked me to pick up his packages. He had 30 packages delivered, including one at least 5x7 and weighing over 75 pounds. What a cockburn. What a dude. I mean, come on.
Goodness.
Cockburn.
Does he not even tell you, like, hey, man, I got a lot of packages coming? Does he buy you a 12-pack of your beer or something?
What does he do? That's incredible. I mean,
dude, if we were out of town for a week, that would be what T would have delivered.
Oh, really?
Amazon, yeah.
That
she makes those people work.
Okay.
Yeah,
but if you're going to have more than like 2 packages, 3 packages, you really need to make that clear. Like, just so you know, there's going to be like 5 packages a day showing up.
Unless you think your friend's a dick. But then all of a sudden, he shows up, he's going to be pissed and starts, you've seen those FedEx guys like working a 13-hour shift. They start just chucking them in the back of their shit. And you're like, oh, boy.
That's why you got to
start doing that.
You got to wave and be polite. You got to make sure you get good service.
All right. Matt Salisbury, the Tigers blew their load too early. Still a lot of time left, but you can't get swept like that. Also, if I had a long-form question or issue, where should I send it? Would love your guys' opinion.
Just send it to graham.couch@gmail.com.
The longer, the better. Graham loves them.
Yeah, read it through and make it as concise as.
Is there a way to like phrase that to where it doesn't sound so bad? Meaning, like, because as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, I'll let it.
Hey, is there a way I could send a long form? It's just like.
Yeah, nothing gets cut more. I will tell people nothing gets cut more than the really long ones that come through email. Because sometimes I'm just not going to ask Jason to read that. I just can't imagine what he's going to.
Yeah, I'll put this one at the end of the show.
Yeah, no. And if you just do it once and you preface it and it's like you're somebody's a regular and it's really good. That's the other thing. If it's really good and it leads to the discussion, it's just your only thing.
Actually, write the long form into your AI like ChatGPT and then say, how do I make this more concise? Then send that version. And it works. It's brilliant. David Jackson next. We got sucked back into it all. And this weekend, we got the rude awakening. We were convinced by the internet that Job is a star. The internet, he says. And that Melton is the second coming of Jim Palmer. We were fools. We always are. The White Sox just kicked our illusions down our throats. And bonus, MSU's version of Mount Rushmore of athletes, one apiece from the 4 major sports, are clearly Magic Johnson, Duncan Keith, George Webster, and Robin Roberts. And I'll fight to the death to defend those picks.
I love it, David.
David is back.
Yeah.
In regular season form.
Certainly Magic and Webster. And I
don't know. I don't know about George Webster. I think I'd take that one. A jumping Johnny Green. David, I hate to take one of your guys off there.
Yeah.
The other ones are okay. I think they're debatable. Magic stays. Ethan Charmella next. Kicker is the position I'm most concerned about with MSU. Liam Boyd and Steven Gonzalez are the only guys on the roster. Boyd is a 5th year and a transfer feels like he'll be the guy, and we'll need him to be solid for a shot at a bowl.
Yeah, it's an underrated discussion. I mean, I think they're really good at punter. They obviously got Iowa's punter, and they've got the special teams coach. But if you're not, if you've got a kicker you can't count on, and you're not a team that's going to overwhelm people, and I don't think Michigan State is, that could be the difference between 2 or 3 wins and losses. I mean, so they've, we'll see what that is, but I don't, have a great deal of faith in it yet. That doesn't mean it's going to be an issue. It's not something that's been brought up as being a huge issue, but it's something that's a little unproven.
The big skills of Southern Maine next. A surprising number of Spartan message board posters are supportive and even like Graham.
What?
No way. Graham is too mainstream now. It's no longer edgy to post about liking Couch's work. Sorry, Graham, when I call you a fat troll on the Spartan message boards, I don't really mean it.
I've been called worse, so it's okay.
On the Spartan message boards?
Oh, definitely on the Spartan message boards and in life.
Really?
But yeah, sure. But I was not liked early on, especially.
No way.
Yeah. Well, because early on, I was, talking 2012 and whatever. I came in.
Still had the Oakley wraparound shade vibe.
Yeah, I was wearing the Kangol hat and all that stuff. But no, the bigger issue was, like, Michigan State had been very good the year before. I came in and nearly made the Rose Bowl, right? I come in, they go 6-6. It's a struggle. I was somewhat critical of D'Antonio and the situation, and people did not like me coming in as they viewed as an outsider. Like,
I miss Todd Schultz. Who is this Couch guy?
Yeah, right.
Wearing a derby hat. What an ass. Wendell next. Couch taking off that many weeks for paternity leave and then immediately following it up with a week of PTO. Do you not feel any paranoia of people being like, wow, we didn't miss a beat? Do we really need this, MF? And I get it's summer, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just too high strung to enjoy that.
Yeah, but you got to.
Couch, dude, you're really good at that stuff, too. Couch is really good at stretching stuff like that and like combining stuff.
A couple things. One, you learn doing these jobs that the summer months really don't matter. You got to be there when it matters for people. And it's not that you shouldn't do good work when you're on in the summer.
Oh, you mean I can just take time off from my subscription during the summer?
Didn't say that.
That's what Couch is saying.
Didn't say that. But I'm saying you got to be there in the months that really matter. And then you can't feel guilty when you're taking paternity leave. I mean, it's a really cool thing that's offered, and it's just
right. And then you point at the baby, like you can't say anything to me.
Yeah,
there's a baby there.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Like if I was less, like I'll give you an example. In 2014, when the Winter Olympics were in Russia, I was offered to go cover it as part of the USA Today sends a big team, or used to send a big team to cover the Olympics. And in 2012, like it was in London. That's when Joe Rexrode wrote that flowery piece about Larry Nassar. And there's a lot of that. So sorry. I'm going to throw Joe under the bus.
Throw that tidbit in there.
But there's a lot of that. And he was over there. And the summer kind of works. It had some appeal to me. It's a lot of work. And they asked me, I want to go to Russia. But it was like February. And I'm, MSU basketball that year was hoping to win a national title. I was in year 3 covering the team. Like I didn't feel like, number one, it was serving our readers for me to be going and covering all sorts of like figure skaters and luge people. And that's not what people want. And then I also didn't feel secure enough in like, my place and my ability to connect with the audience and the audience's need for me. And I'm certainly never take that for granted. It's just,
so you denied the Olympics.
I did not go to the Russia Olympics.
And that 14. You want to make it sound like you put the readers first and not the fact that you just didn't want to go to effing Russia for a couple months.
I didn't mind Russia. I would have gone to Russia in 14.
And nothing to do with you not wanting to go.
If it had not been, if my beat had not been MSU basketball and football, if I was covering like baseball or that would have been spring training, but you know what I'm saying. If it had not been a month that was a conflict with like down the stretch of a season, I probably would have gone. It was an honor to be asked.
Although you were a single guy back then, right? Like I heard about those Olympic villages.
Well, Elizabeth and I were dating.
Oh,
yeah. I wasn't that single, but it was. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
it would have been a waste of time.
Yeah, but no, I
got you.
Yeah.
All right. E4 next. Brad Holmes' last few draft classes have been pretty mediocre compared with the early standard he set. This Lions roster is too talented, and the Super Bowl window is too short to keep waiting on developing draft picks. This is the year to be aggressive at the deadline and add a proven difference maker. Oh yeah, we've been gone since the Mays, the center Mays there. He's out till what, October? Effing injuries. I don't know.
I
know. And then Campbell saying the next preseason game we're going to play starters, and I'm like, I couldn't believe the Bengals in our first preseason game playing the Bengals. Burrow and Jamar Chase and Brown, they had like their whole roster out there. I'm like, I'd be losing my shit. I mean, I saw Burrow take a sack. I'm going to lose my mind.
What do you think the Lions' odds are to win a Super Bowl right now on the Firekeeper's iCasino and Sportsbook app?
12-1,
17-1. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Not great. Yeah,
I know.
I mean,
it's like losing your center.
It's not
doing patchwork on the offensive line already. I need to see some games.
Yeah, no,
I got to crush some real tape.
But,
God dang it!
This
is the worst part of the season, though. This is like this build up. And
again, you want injuries. You want 12-week injuries, though. You want guys to come back healthy late in the season and not be injured during the season.
I knew it. Take a drink.
All right.
Fuck. Bartholomae, if Tesla can't figure it out this year for the Lions, Holmes should be fired. The 2024 draft class and ignoring free agency and trades were strike 1 and 2. 3 third-round picks for this guy. Come on, dude. And bonus, Bartholomae, the easiest name change of all time. Happy for Graham that they honored his time at Western, which no one else knew he worked there, and waited for his furlough to end to announce it.
I did appreciate that it wasn't last week. That was nice. How do you feel about Tesla? And like if
I mean, the dude caught a decent amount of touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he have last year? 8 or 9, something like that. You can't sit there and give up on a guy already this early in the preseason. I know he hasn't looked great, but I mean, come on. You see clips here and there of him making mistakes and stuff. I don't know. Was he worth 3 third-round picks?
Probably not.
Yeah. Brad Holmes should be fired? I don't know.
No.
Logan Peters next. The Tigers are still making the playoffs, and this team plays better being farther behind. As a fan, it's exhausting to watch, but also fun as September turns into October baseball. And bonus, nothing gets me ready for fall like MSU Friday night game and listening to this podcast.
I appreciate you, Logan. The Friday night game is a nice tradition. I don't think anybody would want Friday nights to be the norm, but that first game of the season that MSU plays then, and I think the other thing that I love, and I know it doesn't work for everybody, like if you're coming out of town or from out of town you have to work or whatever, it's not perfect. There are reasons some people don't like it. But I love that Saturday then is like all the other games, and if you're watching as a fan or covering it, like you get to sit around and watch the games, and it's
so it's about you.
Well, no, it's about everybody.
Oh.
That's what I mean. Like if you're an MSU football fan, like you in particular, you get to watch MSU Friday. That game's over, and then you get to watch all the games, right, on Saturday. You don't like the Friday night game?
I like the Friday night game. I'm just saying, it just always, when you mention something, I'm always taking it from like how it benefits Graham Couch, though, in your answers, what I'm saying.
It actually doesn't help me that much.
Because you like Friday night, because of course you grind till 7 a.m. for some reason. Like those Friday night games are killers for you guys.
Well, yeah, I don't like it.
Because you're up in the press box till 4 a.m. just crushing.
I miss the early Premier League games the next day, so I don't like it. Yeah. In that sense.
These guys never go home. Spartan Degenerate, I'm excited for the EPL starting this weekend. This will be my go-to podcast for Coventry soccer analysis.
Hell yeah.
The road to avoiding relegation starts Friday.
Let's do it. I think they got a shot. I think of the 3 that are coming up, I think Coventry City is the best positioned based on their signings to avoid relegation and survive and be in the Premier League.
Mike Scott next. To have a good year, does MSU have to win at least 6 games and beat someone of note? What is the ceiling and flood? I don't think 5-7 with a lot of those close losses and better play on the field can be considered good. And bonus, is the show having a college football betting expert on this fall for Wednesdays? Is Harry alive? I spoke with Harry, actually. I texted with Harry.
Oh, yeah?
He's alive. Much alive.
Good,
yes.
good.
Baked and buzzed. Any Premier League futures, Graham? And Jason, what do you think of a bet of Everton finishing in the top half of the Premier League? What about Fulham being relegated? Please elaborate, Jason.
Soccer is boring.
I like Fulham. The thing I like about Fulham being relegated is they lose their manager. They play in a stadium where they were great at home last year, but it's not necessarily a great home field advantage usually, just in terms of the crowd and the types of people that go to those games. I think Fulham's an outside shot. I don't hate the odds. If you get good odds to get Fulham relegated, I think that's not a horrible play if you're looking to bet somebody's misery. Everton top half, that was a good one last year. I don't feel as strongly this year for sure. And we're hoping to have Harry on. We'll talk to Harry and we'll see. And otherwise, we're going to figure something else out.
Jonathan Smith's burner next. Number 1, Graham, I'm very sorry for swearing in my questions and takes and using the F word too much. I will impose a 1-week swear ban on myself to avoid more lectures from Graham like he's my dad.
Thank you.
Go bleep yourself, Graham. 2, Pat Fitzgerald has an elite team running the MSU football social media. Excuse me. Everything they put out gets me fired up and makes Fitz look like he's the guy to bring us back.
They do it well. They have a good hype machine. They've had good social media people for a while, it's a job and a
boy. It's got to be a lot easier with Fitzgerald though than Jonathan Smith. Imagine going through that tape.
You know who would look good in a muskox flannel too? Pat Fitzgerald. He looks like a muskox man, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Started coaching a muskox flannel. If you want to look and feel your best, you're just a little self-conscious or just want to be super comfortable this fall, don't wait till the weather turns. We're right around the corner. Go to gomuskox.com. Check out, they got hats and tees as well, but just an unbelievable flannel selection. Again, gomuskox.com.
How much money would Brad Hoos have to pony up to get Fitzgerald? It's not a crazy.
It's a fit too, yeah.
Right? No, but I'm saying, for him to wear it on the sideline. We're not far removed. You know what I mean? If some flannel company you would have to pony up some big cash. But
yeah.
20 mil? 20 mil sponsorship or something?
I don't know. It'd be worth it because, if you're especially if they're successful, you become known as the guy who wears muskox flannels on the sidelines.
Yeah. And you get press because he would be wearing a flannel on the sidelines, and it would get all the barstool people talking and stuff.
It's better than having somebody wearing a muskox flannel in the press box. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Frank Vachner next. Number 1, just when you think Jackson Jobe isn't a bust, he looks like a bust. And 2, did you guys see the article in the Free Press about the Red Wings? Things are worse than I envisioned. Just relocate or fold the team.
Wow.
Jesus. 3, when will the game-by-game predictions for MSU football come out?
That'll be end of next week or beginning of the game week, but probably end of next week. If we're, I too am struggling when the season actually begins because it's so late. I think end of next week would be when they come out, and that's always a fun piece. Not as fun as the basketball piece. The basketball piece is more fun to work on because it's a little more tongue in cheek and.
It's better on radio and podcasting, though. You want to just bust out the schedule and run them down?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I did not see that. I heard some stuff about that Free Press article on the Red Wings. I did not read it.
Was that a Mitch Albom piece?
It was. I don't think it was.
Is that a Los? Sparty Barb next. Number 1, the Bears win the NFC North, but the Lions win the NFC Championship. Hope so, Barb. 2, MSU hockey wins its 4th straight Big Ten championship this season. And 3, MSU women's volleyball makes the NCAA tournament and bonus. Indiana football repeats as Big Ten champions.
All that stuff could happen. So it's not like out of the means. These aren't like
there you go, Barb.
Yeah, like no, but
all that stuff can happen.
You know, but if like the 5th one had been like Graham dunks a basketball, like that's not going to happen,
that's
right?
True.
Yeah, or
have to get a trampoline or a ladder or something.
Break the trampoline.
Spider-Man, brand new day, changed my life next. At first, I was mad MSU kept Joe Rossi, but now I think it was a great move. We got the best staff in the Big Ten.
There you go. There's
10
optimism.
wins.
Optimism. That's
wow, that is crazy optimism.
There you go, Eric Schultz.
Positive Joe Rossi. Wendell next. The way MSU claims hypothetical titles, I'm so glad Izzo stayed for 30 years after winning early on. Had he left immediately after winning the 2000 title like Dusty did this year, MSU fans would legitimately believe they'd have 10 by now if Izzo stayed. Thankfully, we have the actual results.
There would be a little of that if only Izzo had stayed. If only, but you get that
someone got a new burner.
Yeah, you get that with Saban too. You know, I mean, you could say that. I mean, but yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there are a lot of hypothetical titles in football and other things. My favorite is the 1957 title, I believe, the national title by Michigan State when they finished 2nd in the Big Ten, but somehow won the national championship. I couldn't keep that trophy with a straight face if I was gonna. All these things were voted on by like Jack Ebling's grandfather, right? And you know, he maybe took a train to half the games and saw some of the teams, and then you make this. It's just I don't know. It's every title really
rip them out of the history books.
Yeah, there's a certain point where every title is just complete bullshit.
Aiden's child next. Elizabeth Frank is a W word. I have arthritis in my midfoot. Doc told me it's a result of a prior undiagnosed Liz Frank injury that didn't heal properly. Asked him why it's called Liz Frank. Answer. A French surgeon, Jacques Liz Frank, treated wounded soldiers in the Napoleonic Wars who had these types of injuries from falling off their horses and having their boots get stuck in their stirrups. His solution was to amputate from the midfoot down. Yep, gives a new perspective to MSU's basketball injury woes.
Let me just go back to that. Every time Liz Frank just amputate midfoot down. God, do you think how
Jacques Liz Frank, man, what a terrible time to he was born at the wrong time. You imagine,
why did they name it after him if that was his solution? Doesn't seem like a good solution.
At the time, what else are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean, when was this war? Napoleonic War. I mean, what freaking year was that? What else do you have to do back then? There wasn't many options here.
Amputate? That's what you got?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You're out in the fields, man. What are you supposed to do?
That's not going to make you better. Cutting off half your foot?
I mean, what's the other option?
Letting it heal.
It leads up to your leg, and then all of a sudden,
I don't know.
These baseball players are out 15 days if they have a fucking toenail. It's unbelievable. Trees next. Not a new take, but all the games on different apps needs to stop. It's out of control, and the casual fan will lose interest. Even for the diehards, it is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I think it's twofold. One, it is tricky sometimes to know what things are on, and there needs to be consistency in that. But we can figure that out.
But what she was speaking of,
pricing is bad.
She was in Illinois for the weekend. It was her mother's birthday. They wanted to watch the Cubs game. Her mom's a big Cubs fan. They couldn't find it, so they were trying to get on an app to see,
What was it after that? Marquee or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, she was very frustrated
It's
by the whole, because I gave her the Major League Baseball, like we talked about the login for Major League, the app, but you don't even but that blacks it out if you're in the area.
I know. Every time MLB, all these, every time I want to see something on one of those, it's blacked out.
It's crazy. Spartan Johnny next. How do you not bring in a wide receiver taller than 6'4" at Michigan State? My nephew is playing wide receiver for a D3 school, is going to set the school record for receiving yards this season if he stays healthy, and is 6'5". I'm not saying to go get my nephew, but who's recruiting D2 and D3 for MSU? And bonus, I just wanted to let you guys know in advance that the Bills will be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl this year. Prepare yourselves for my hot takes and Bills gambling intel. Football is almost back.
We look forward to it, Smart Johnny.
What do you think of the new stadium there, Johnny?
Yeah, people are not thrilled.
No?
Doesn't sound great.
What's your nephew's name? Come on, 6'5". Got to see a look here.
Yeah, they don't. I'm not sure this is going to be. They certainly don't appear to have like a dynamite number one guy at MSU. But if you got a number of guys who are good, it can be okay. But it does help to have a dude and somebody who really is a difference maker. And maybe Maybe that guy exists on the team. We just don't know it yet.
Sunshine Spartan next. Number 1, the Tigers are so much likable with Scooble gone. And 2, Rams versus Buffalo Super Bowl matchup 2027.
A lot of Buffalo love here. More likable Tigers without Scooble, you think?
No. I mean, I do miss Scooble pitching every 5 days. Yeah. I mean, it is fun to watch him on the Dodgers sweating his ass off and only pitching 5 2/3 or whatever. But I mean, I don't think it's more likable. This team is more likable.
The Scooble saga was getting old. That's what was getting old. But if the saga didn't exist, the team would be just as likable and more. You could believe in them more if they had Tarek Scooble. You don't get better losing Tarek Scooble.
But with the bullpen, it didn't matter because the guy was going to pitch into the deep 5th, maybe 6th inning, and then we had to hope, So it was just. Yeah.
I think the most disheartening thing with Scooble was not that he was being pulled after 5 or 6 innings now. It's that they did that last year in the postseason in an elimination game. If you believed that, you want this guy healthy later. He's not going to pitch more than 5 or 6 innings. But when push comes to shove, this guy's going to go 112 pitches and pitch 8 innings.
But whose decision was that? Yeah. Is that the Scott Boras-led decision that he can't pitch that deep? Why, if you're Scooble, you're in that game. You're not taking the ball from me.
Scott
what are we
Boras
talking about?
Has a buzzer that goes on A.J. Hinch's arm, and when he hits it.
Is that like when Trump falls asleep and that chick behind him kind of hits that button?
Same deal.
Shocks him in his diaper?
Same deal.
All right, Luke is in Kalamazoo. If I'm a Tigers fan, focus on the wild card. Ignore the division. If you luck into winning it, cool. Either way, they're not going far in the playoffs. We saw firsthand this weekend what it takes, and the pitching sucks overall. And bonus, we need Wi-Fi in Spartan Stadium yesterday. What are your thoughts? What network do you use while you're there? And what's the password?
I can't share that, but we do have a media thing up there. I don't think it would stretch very far either. It's not like, it's the whole stadium. It's just in the box. But no, I can't be a jerk and just give that. The whole stadium knows what the password is.
What is it, Johnny Spirit?
It's Johnny Spirit.
Uppercase?
Johnny Spirit, 1996, Johnny Spirit.
That's awesome.
Anyway, but I'm torn on this because I do believe in some ways stadiums need to be modernized and best fan experience and everything you can have. I also like what is it the Clippers games? I think what they do there, where they don't even have TVs in there, the concessions. They want you watching the game down on the field, down near the court. They don't want you dilly dallying up. They want you to enjoy the game. And to me, the problem with Wi-Fi is it leads to a lot more phone-addicted people staring at their phones. And I'm not sure that's the best stadium experience.
Only during the commercial breaks.
That's the problem. The counter to that is if you're gonna say we need you engaged at all times, you got to cut down the commercial breaks or make them different. And because now,
stop worrying about if I'm engaged. I'm paying the ticket. Let me in and let me figure it out, though. Stop worrying about if I'm engaged. I'm watching the game.
Or turn the Wi-Fi on for the 4 minutes.
What am I, a child?
Yes.
Basically, my ass.
Everybody there.
Turn the friggin' Wi-Fi on.
Well,
let me handle it. I ain't gonna miss
people
the game.
Can't. People aren't responsible with their phones. You look at.
I'm not. But there's good shit on my phone. There's shit that's interesting on my phone. What am I gonna do? Sit and stare around, do a 360 and see if I can see anybody I know? Like, who cares? Like, get into a conversation with someone next to me that's ass? Like, give me my phone and let me see what's going on. There's good stuff happening on there. I don't know. Like,
phones are a big problem.
They are a huge problem. I understand it takes over my life, but I'm sitting there going like, all right, let me put my phone down. Then I'm like, God dang, this is boring. Like, what else is going on? Let me see my phone. What's going on in Reddit?
But that's part of the problem with college football, that people, I mean, not only are we more addicted to our phones, but
5-minute commercial breaks.
Yeah, right.
When we see that guy come out.
Fix it. Fix the commercial breaks.
Olivia in Birmingham next. Number 1, I think it's super creepy how some Spartans are still so obsessed with J.J. McCarthy. The last great MSU quarterback was Connor Cook, who also quickly flamed out in the NFL. And 2, are my husband and I the only golf fans who cannot stand Amanda Bellionis? She is revolting. She is revolting, and you can tell all the players think her questions are so damn dumb. I love Olivia. You are the best. You and your husband just going hard at Amanda Bellion. Like, she's fine. She is what she is. Like, she's supposed to do, the interviews after the rounds and stuff like that. It was just curious, when Rory got a little divorced there and, the alleged things that were going on. So that made me look at her a little differently, but, those are unfounded still. No one's saying any words about that, but I thought she's all right. She's okay.
To the Connor Cook McCarthy point, here's the difference. And look, there's no doubt it's a completely rivalry-driven thing. It's not like McCarthy's trying to suck in the NFL. He's just not good enough. And Connor Cook wasn't good enough. Certainly, he wasn't accurate enough as a passer, right? And one of the differences is most Michigan State fans didn't think Connor Cook was going to be the second coming of anything in the NFL. They thought maybe he'll stick around, maybe he'll make it. We'll see. A lot of Michigan fans are all about J.J. McCarthy, including one ESPN insider who loves J.J. McCarthy. Like, it's the love for J.J. McCarthy, the idea that if he's not there's a contingent out there that thinks if he's not performing well, it's the Vikings' fault. Like, there's just no way this protege of Jim Harbaugh could suck in the NFL. Playing NFL quarterback is hard. A lot of great college quarterbacks don't wind up being very good NFL quarterbacks. And from everything I'm reading, he doesn't have it. Now, maybe he'll get one last shot. Maybe it'll happen for him somewhere. It just doesn't look like it's going to.
Skiles' long pinky fingernail next. It was really stupid to dump Terrion Arnold. Sure, he is a heinous human being. Heinous. But that never stopped LT, Kareem Hunt, Marvin Harrison, etc. from playing. Kind of could use another cornerback. And baked. Pre-rolls suck. They don't pull well and taste like ass and bend in half immediately. Bro, where are you getting your pre-rolls from? I'm not saying you're wrong, because I've had some that do all of what you mentioned, but not on a consistent basis. Like, are you getting those like cheap boys and 28 grams for $40? Those boys, yeah, they're going to bend in half. But by the way, Terrion Arnold, but those guys you mentioned, I mean, I don't know, Kareem Hunt, but like Terrion Arnold wasn't that great to begin with.
No.
And you said he's a heinous human being. I don't know if he's heinous. It's just one of the worst planned ideas I've ever heard. And that would get me to immediately get rid of a guy if he was ass. And I think Terrion Arnold was that. And yes, we need a cornerback, but you coupled all those together.
I don't think he's the answer.
Why is Seattle doing this? Like, they don't even know when he's going to be on some exempt list for the commissioner exempt list where he can't play anyway. And all these teams are sitting there like, I get it. You got to just scout guys and all that. But
I'd be surprised if he does anything in note in his NFL career.
But he's not going to get 25 years, so therefore you're going to owe me Front 43.
I will. Front 43 and Cask and Company. And if you're going to make a bet, by the way, that's not on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app, which is the best place to do it, but if you can do it amongst friends, one of the best things you can absolutely bet is a meal at Cask and Company or Front 43 neighborhood pub. That's just north of Frandar in East Saginaw, near the East Lansing border. Yeah, the original Couch in the Roof sponsor.
Clint One Ball Baney next. Number 1, Toledo Rockets are beating MSU by 7 at halftime, but we win by 24. 2, the Wolverines win 7 games this year and make every excuse on why they didn't win 10 games. And 3, the Tigers get into the playoffs somehow. Well, number 1 will be fun.
Halftime.
We were actually going to that game, so that'd be fun to sit through the halftime show.
People losing their shit.
Losing their minds.
Yeah.
That's when the Wi-Fi should go out.
Yeah.
We don't need Wi-Fi.
Don't need people tweeting at that. And that's
actually, we might distract ourselves.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, Dave Lakin next. MSU football is in a much better place under Coach Fitz and the staff he assembled. They will get much better in years to come. However, with depth on the line of scrimmage still being a weakness, I see them being around 500 for the season.
Well, I mean, this seems like a really reasonable take.
Right. You're making sense, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. But yeah, no. Look, we really don't know what this team is going to be. And there's some, you get inklings that they may have.
They're going to be more fired up. We know that.
And they may have some talent at running back. They may have, whatever. But we really just don't know. And I'm curious too. I think a lot of people are curious. Some people are not and just don't really care and need to see it. But they would do well. It would serve the program well, and I think it'd serve a lot of people well if they could be a little bit of a surprise. And it doesn't have to be like, it's Toledo in the opener, right? But if they come out and they do some things that make you think, oh, that's going to be fun this year. That guy's going to be a guy. Give you some hope. If you slog it out and I'm not saying just if you beat Toledo 20-10, and it's a grind, it's going to be which what
I think about though. I think about last year when we were talking about the possibility of Jonathan Smith getting another year, what this season would look like and what the enthusiasm would be.
They had to do it.
If Smith were still here.
They had to do it. They had to make him.
You know what I mean? Because there was actually talk last year of like possibility of, well, you just give him one more year.
Well, and the pressure would be so great to actually, deliver. I mean, this year, if they go 5-7, people won't be thrilled, but it's you can still try and build on something there.
Has Smith got another gig?
No, from what I understand, he's not coaching this year. No.
So what's he doing?
I believe he's just left town. So, no, seriously, his family and he just moved. And I can't imagine the guy's making he's making how much, $7 million a year, something like that. You do the math. He's making over like $500,000 a month.
Damn.
So yeah, why would you
enjoy it, Jonathan Smith? I'd be dead.
Too many vices.
Oh, dude, $500K going to that bank account a month.
Yeah. By the way,
I still wouldn't be drinking, but I'd still, who knows?
If you're making $500K a month, let me introduce you to Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. And by the way, the Michigan State only about a 10-point favorite on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app against Toledo in that opener. Not a lot of faith in Michigan State, even as the season win total is climbed to 4.5.
Awesome news. Richard Kane next. MSU likely has a higher giving floor than Western, but if Barth Vader can do something comparable for MSU like he did for Western, that'll be huge. Hopefully he won't accept bargain pricing for future deals like the dopey jersey patch deal MSU rushed into. And bonus, who could play Pat Fitzgerald in a movie? Kyle Chandler, obviously Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Helmsworth. Hell, any old Chris will do. Josh Brolin, John Hamm, Aaron Eckhart, Alan Reichen, David Harbour. Are we just naming any actor now?
Aaron Eckhart? Yeah.
The fuck is that? John Krasinski, John Bernthal. I'd go with Bernthal.
Well,
that dude is intense.
Kyle Chandler was the guy who was in the what was it, the show
Come on now.
Friday Night Lights. But he was also in Early Edition, an underrated show back in the day. Early Edition, great show if you haven't seen it. Also in the movie Manchester by the Sea,
which is a good,
just going down
movie. IMDb.
I liked Manchester by the Sea. I enjoyed that 2016 movie. Underrated Manchester by the Sea.
Isabel in Williamston next. Number one, NBA breaking news. The owner of the LA Clippers was busted red-handed cheating. A reporter won a Pulitzer Prize, fully exposing it. And yet, the billionaire is getting away with it scot-free. Lovely. Pro sports are so corrupt. And two, there's a clip on social media with Coach Fitzgerald trying his damnedest to get the football players to buy in and learn the MSU fight song. God bless Pat, but it's underscored how most of these kids are paid mercenaries on campus for a cup of coffee. We're rooting for laundry.
People have been rooting for laundry for a long time.
But how hard is it to get the players to learn the fight song, though? Like, even if you're getting paid, like, can't you come in, like, you break me off a check, dude, I'll come in and sing your fight song. Like, let me learn it.
It should be part of the contract. Learn the fight song. Yeah,
don't make me bring Johnny Spirit in here to teach you guys.
Oh, don't bring
this
Johnny
fucking
Spirit
fight song.
No, don't do that.
And then it will be Hondo. I mean, you guys going to learn?
Yeah. No.
Then we'll bring in Mad Dog because he's going to force his way in. He's going to invite himself, and I'm going to have to let you do it.
I do love how the NBA has found, like, no corruption with the LA Clippers in like an 11-month.
What about the Lakers all of a sudden selling? And
well, that's a big deal too, because
Genie Bus not wanting to sell.
The guy who owns the Dodgers as well, and he owns Chelsea Football Club. He's trying to sell there too. Like that looks like he's in some real trouble. He may be. He may have money that he's not supposed to have.
Scotty Green's El Camino, watching clips of Fitz at the MSU's practice, and his genuine enthusiasm makes me even more pissed off about the entire Jonathan Smith tenure. I mean, that was an unmitigated disaster. at the very least. Or no, excuse me. At the very least, Fitz is a better fit and will energize the fan base. And bonus, pound sand, J-Bat. Y'all knew he was ass when his first name was just the letter J. I love when people tell people to pound sand. Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's a good one. It
is a good one.
Yeah, it's
good old school one. It's not really like mean.
Yeah. Look, yeah, Jonathan Smith wasn't the right guy for it. He also got, I don't want to say he got a raw deal in certain ways, but it.
He didn't get a raw deal. The guy, you just
mentioned
million. What
that's
the hell he's getting paid.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
What kind of raw deal is that? Kim and Brighton, third-rate Northwestern, just got $35 million for their football roster, while we have a pledge from a non-alum and some murky venture capital thing nobody understands. I still love Tom Izzo and Spartan basketball, but nearing total apathy for Spartan football.
Yeah, the program needs some juice. They need to bounce back. All it takes is one run around the outside for 75 yards.
Is there too much pressure on Pat Fitzgerald? Like, I just feel like there's immense, like, people are like, I'm out if things don't start popping.
No, because people will come back when they do pop.
Yeah.
At least people who have been in before. You may not, the next generation may never get in, and that's the danger. But, like, if you were in, if you were in at one point and all of a sudden a team gets exciting, you're back.
It's usually me talking shit, Bob in Fort Myers, number 1. And just like that, I don't care about the Detroit Tigers anymore. 2, lived in Michigan all my life until retirement, and I've never been to the UP. Can Graham share what one does in Marquette for a week with a wife and child? Is it true it never gets very hot up there and biting flies and mosquitoes are brutal? And 3, has Graham ever tried the thumb regions Lake Huron beach towns? Caseville, Port Austin, and Lexington are much closer to Lansing and still have some middle-class charm and affordable cottages for the time being.
Yeah, I've not done a lot in the thumb region. Generally like the sunset over the sunrise, but I say that, but I used to go to Maine and stuff. But yeah, I've not done a lot. If it's affordable, it may be something to do. I've heard great things from people. To Marquette. Marquette's got. There's just so much stuff you can do. We did a lot less of it this year because we had an infant with us. But like if you're, there's just the food there. From baby cakes to 3rd Street Bagel to the Veerling. The Presque Isle and Sugarloaf Mountain. There's just all sorts of stuff to do. And the Black Rocks Brewery, it's just it's a great town, and it's not yet. It's a little. There's parts of it that are getting a little more outsiderish, but it's not yet annoying. It's still it's getting expensive, and that's annoying, but it's not yet as annoying as some other places.
Baggery next. Did Couch notice more Illinois FIBs in Marquette? The wife's best friends live in Marquette and said there's more and more vacationing there. My take. Enjoy Marquette before it becomes a Traverse City.
It's just too far for it ever to be Traverse City, and I hope it doesn't, because while I love that whole area, Leland and Sutton's Bay and all that stuff, Traverse City itself is vastly overrated and just, yeah.
What are Illinois FIBs?
It's like fucking Illinois, whatever. It's, yeah. I didn't. You come
fucking Illinois, whatever.
People. It used to be FIPS is another one.
Okay.
So FIBS is another.
Bitches. Oh, probably.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. You notice more money there and more different, but you don't. It's not overrun yet. It really isn't. It's still an awesome place to be. It's just not. If you're willing to do the drive, and it's 5.5, 6 hours depending on where you are in the state, it's very cool.
Max next. I started watching Tiger games again. It had been a long time. It was about the 5th inning of the first one when I realized why I had been avoiding them. And yep, it was the Cure Insurance commercial with Poe and Torque. Do those players realize how bad they look? That and a sweep by the White Sox may force me into tune out again.
Yeah, I get it if you're like coming up from the minors and you don't have. How much are they paying people from Cure?
I gotta say, I just want to know what those guys, an honest opinion, when they left the shoot. Like, I know because you sign up for that and you get into it and you're like all of a sudden putting these weird things and you don't want to speak up then. But what did you feel as you were leaving? You're like,
I don't know.
What did you get paid versus how you were feeling is what I'm saying. Like, did you get $100K? Because they probably got $100,000, right?
Like if Bernie Madoff called and said, we'd like to do an endorsement with Couch and the Rube.
Hey, what's up, Bernie? Fist bump.
What's
he got?
We'd say no. I don't get that.
Bring up one of the worst people in the world.
Cure.
Hey, Epstein. What if Epstein took you to his island? Like, what? And you got anything else?
Yeah.
No shit.
And I'm not looking to get a suit here. I'm not saying Cure Insurance is Epstein or anything like that. I'm just saying there's some reports that they're not the best company. That's all I'm saying.
Worst things have been said about Poe. Gruff Sparty is the best Sparty.
Call me a pessimist or realist or optimist. Either Bartholomae or Guskowitz will be gone in the next 24 months. And bonus, screw four-way stops. It's simple. The car that gets there first goes. If it's a tie, the one on the right goes first. Does anyone do this? No. Does it just cause delays and potential crashes? Yes. Do I hate all my fellow drivers? Yes. Being nice doesn't help. Be efficient. God bless you, rough Sparty. You are the best Sparty. They put one of those four-way stops in Ovid.
Was that
2
the first
years
one?
ago. Well, they took the light out.
Okay.
No. There was only a two-way stop. They made it a four-way stop or something, and people have no idea, like, straight before turn. I'm with him. Like, the best advice I was given is from our friend Linda when she told me, just go. Like, if you see an opening, go. Because I would wait and try to do the, you know, straight before turn, go ahead, and then guys would flash me their brights, and I was like, and I'd give them the finger and just, anyway.
The worst for me are over at, like, Eastwood and Lansing. Well, you get people coming out of, like, where the Sam's Club is, and you're coming down that chute on the, you know, anyway, it's just like.
Well, that's like a roundabout, though.
No, there's no roundabout. This is on the side, like the side, just the outside of Eastwood. It's just.
Oh, yeah.
It's just brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. My advice is whenever you see an opening, go. Like, just roll through that stop sign. Gramanito Couch, number one, I was told, hashtag Nolan the intern, would get his full review live on air by Jason as a stand-in for Graham. Hired by Graham, and I'm not hitting like or subscribing until it's done. Damn it. Sorry, I didn't read that terribly. This hot demand of a take sponsored by the always hot and tasty Groovy Donuts. And two, sorry to report, Jason, but Ted Lasso Season 4 can be thrown on the pile of TV and movies that don't need to exist other than for a quick buck by insert parent company here. Only one that's worth it is the revival of King of the Hill. Absolutely crushes it. Hashtag Bobby Hill for Prez.
Have you? I've not. I'm looking forward to Ted Lasso Season 4, so I'm willing, and I'm willing to watch it. Something that's not as good.
Did he mean to say you? Sorry to report, Graham, because I didn't care. I mean, I could have told you it was going to be ass.
Yeah. I think we're going to have Nolan in for his final show on Friday, so maybe we'll get his
on Friday.
Maybe on Friday. Yeah, we've been screwing Nolan over a little bit because like he usually comes in on Mondays, and yet we haven't done Monday. It's been like, we're doing Tuesdays. Like I got my other job, so.
I can't Friday then. I can't do a Friday show.
You can't do a Friday show?
Just kidding. Skylar next. The whole my city or team versus everybody slogan is so overused and annoying. Such a woe is me slogan. All cities and teams do it because they all believe everyone is out to get them.
It is a little bit of. I mean, it's funny actually. It's better when when it's not Detroit versus everybody or whatever. If it's like,
but it was fun at the beginning. It was like Detroit versus everybody. Like, yeah, all right, I can get behind that.
But it's more fun if it's like Ovid versus everybody now. Now it's fun if like a smaller town has.
There's some people there that want that.
Yeah. Over.
You have the weapons to back it up, probably. Ovid versus everybody. 4-way stop, and we'll shoot those stop signs down. Couch on fire. Number one, Scotty Scheffler just puts it in another gear sometimes. When past them all like they were in neutral. Our man Spieth chokes off a top 50 finish. And two, Tigers tease again. Cynical Tigers fans online. 6 mediocre teams battling for one wild card spot to be fodder in the playoffs.
You hope so, but you'd never know in a 3-game series. Like it just takes,
I know, but that's why it's ass though.
Yeah,
because it's like, well, hey. Calm down. Don't give up on the season yet. Right. It's like we got another 3-game stand here. It's like,
and it's really unfair.
Okay.
It's also unfair to the teams that face you because, I mean, like,
it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is anything can happen in baseball, and the best teams do lose fairly often. Like, so it's really not fair to play a whole season for that team to come in and have a legitimate chance maybe to beat you.
Thomas Zambiasi next. The most useful American brainworm is absolutely our sports obsession. I was just in Toronto and loved it, but it was near impossible to find a store with a good collection of Blue Jays merch, and I've absolutely never had this problem in the U.S. Great fan base and stadium experience, though. Absolutely worth the trip.
I don't know if Toronto's underrated or overrated, or not. It's definitely not overrated. I don't know if it's underrated because it might be rated as it is. It's a great city. It's a good city to visit. It's not far from here. I think it's a great, like if the Tigers are playing there, Pistons are playing up, or just to go, like it's a great sports town, good shows, good other things going on. It's a good town.
Seems nice.
International city. Yeah, it's like
I don't really think I've ever heard anyone say a bad thing. I mean, like
it's a good place.
Except when like Rob Ford was mayor there, But that was a great time.
There are exceptions, right?
Ken Chu, it ain't over till the fat sports reporters sing.
There are a lot of us. Yeah. I mean, I felt all of Fred Human.
Hans Jurgen. Number 1, I visit both red and blue states. You don't like it? F off. 2, I hate to say it, but we miss Riley Green, and the LSJ misses having a good columnist.
It's been a while.
3, Holland, Michigan is the blueberry donut capital of the world. Buy tulips, hashtag America. And bonus, please, White Sox, we're little and we're begging for mercy.
Yeah, it was not a good weekend. The White Sox just looked like a better team. They looked like Cleveland used to against the Tigers when they were owning them. Loved Holland, Michigan though. That's where we got married, in Holland, Michigan. Yeah, so for right. People who want to know.
Jake Hawkins next. Number 1, I have some more song lyrics for those damn Detroit Tigers. Cue up some Katy Perry because you're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in, then you're out. You're up, and then you're down. You're wrong when it's right. It's black and it's white. Opportunity blown. God, I love you, Hawk. That's the best. I wish I would have had some backup Katy Perry. 2, when I first heard about Dan Bartholomae being hired as MSU's next athletic director, I had questions, particularly about fundraising, and they were quickly answered. Let's get this athletic department back on track once and for all. And 3, Mark D'Antonio and Ken Manny stopped by MSU football practice and gave motivational speeches. Cool. Players and current coaches take those words of wisdom and break even this season and maybe get to 7 wins.
There's definitely it was interesting listening to Pat Fitzgerald talk about his, respect and affinity for Ken Manny. And, that is interesting. And I think he also is leaning into the best years of Michigan State. And that's not dumb. I mean, he watched those years from afar, and the Mark D'Antonio, Michigan State is still dealing with the end of the Mark D'Antonio era. At a certain point, you can no longer blame him because it's a while ago. But it ages well overall. I mean, it's just the best era that ever existed in MSU football.
But we talk about having, Fitzgerald having a hard time teaching the players the fight song. When they're presented with Ken Manny and D'Antonio, do some of these players even give it? You know what I mean? Well, I know that we know them, right? But do the players sit there and take it to heart? That's my question.
And what you have to realize is it's been 11 seasons since Michigan State made the playoffs and won the Big Ten. Yeah. So if you are a 20-year-old kid, you were 9. Yeah. And you probably didn't know anything about Michigan State football. I mean, we always see those are peak years for being aware. Like we were 9 and 10 when the bad boys were at their peak for. So maybe you did, but Michigan State.
If I had the ability to crush tape from 9 years old to 20 with all the technology, I mean, I'd know a bunch of stuff.
Michigan State is quickly. Let me try this again. It's quickly getting to a point where it's been so long ago that their player. This is why you can't have these sort of stretches of mediocre and bad football, right? Because you become irrelevant to the people you're recruiting.
All right, and finally, the jerk guy next. Pat Fitzgerald gets it. I'm impressed with his ability to find small avenues to show that he understands Michigan State culture and not just melting moments. And bonus, everyone should make a visit to Lake Chargogamanachoga Koga Choba Bunga Gung Amunga Gung once in their life.
All right, where is this? Hold on. He always finds these places. It is in Massachusetts. Unbelievable.
Free Ubers.
Yeah. Can we get some images and photos of this great lake? Is it just a sewage pit? I don't know. It's not coming up. I don't know what the Wi-Fi is going. That's crapped out at Spartan Stadium here. Here we go. Oh, that doesn't look great. I don't know. Oh, man. Anyway, thanks for listening. We appreciate all of you, by the way, for producing our show. We appreciate our friends, obviously, at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. We were starting to think about putting some money on some games. Download the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. Start to play around with it. Get familiar. Look at the lines. It's fun. Fun to do. Obviously, do it responsibly. Do it with your own means and budget. We appreciate our friends at Muskox Flannels. We appreciate Groovy Donuts. We appreciate all our people from Front 43 and Cask and Company. We will be back Friday, and we'll get into your Groovy Donut Twitter questions. We'll do all that later. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Room.